G'day guys, today we're taking a quick look at an old Netbook PC from late 2008 and seeing if it's still usable today. This is the Asus eePC 1000HA and it's almost 16 years old now. It's shipped with a 160 gig mechanical hard drive and Windows XP Home Edition. It features 1 gig of DDR2 RAM, which is upgradable to 2 gig, which we've already done, and an Intel Atom N280 single core CPU with hyper-threading, which is pretty neat. As for ports, on the left, we've got Ethernet, USB 2.0, headphone and microphone. There's nothing on the front, just your status lights. And on the other side, we've got a full-size SD card reader, 2 more USB 2.0 ports, VGA out, and power in. On the back is where the battery would go, which unfortunately it's missing on this unit. This has had a rough life, unfortunately. As you can see, it's missing a few keycaps. Most of the keyboard doesn't work. The screen is pretty badly cracked, although you can't tell when it's off. It is missing the battery as well, and unfortunately the wireless card is broken, so we'll have to use an external USB wireless adapter for this test. And we'll just take the back off and see what's upgradable. So it does take a standard 2.5-inch SATA drive, so you could put an SSD in, but there wouldn't be much of a reason to, just because of how old it is. You wouldn't find that much improvement anyway. It's got the 2 gig of DDR2 energy megahertz, which we have upgraded from the initial 1 gig stick, and it's got the faulty wireless card, which I have left in. Doesn't cause any issues, it's just not detected. I've checked in BIOS, it is enabled, it's just, yeah, it doesn't work. So for the rest of the video, we'll hook it up to an external monitor, USB keyboard and mouse, and we'll see how well it runs. Okay, we've hooked up our external monitor, USB keyboard and mouse, and also our USB wireless adapter and connected to the Wi-Fi. Everything worked fine so far. I'll just show you the system specs once more. So this is Windows embedded POS Ready 7. I find it runs a lot better on these older devices than standard Windows 7. It's the Intel Atom N280, as mentioned before, and 2 gig of DDR2. It is hyper-threaded, which you can see here. So there are 2 cores, or 2 threads. And we'll start off with some web browsing. I don't have high expectations, but we'll see how we go. I'm using version 105 for Chrome because they've stopped supporting it a while ago. Unfortunately, I couldn't get AdBlock installed. It was just too old. The browser version was too old. So it is struggling to load all that JavaScript. And we'll just try Big Buck Bunny. And I'll make sure we're on the lowest settings at 144. So we'll see how we go. Full screen. There we go. It is choppy. I'll see if I can get stats for nerds. So we've dropped more frames, more than half, even at 144p. Unfortunately, it's just too old to decode the modern codec, which is, I believe, H.264 they're using now. or H.265. They've changed their codecs a few times over the years. When this netbook first came out, it could do YouTube, no worries. But unfortunately, that was 16 years ago, and everything's changed since then. So YouTube was a bust. We'll try online shopping. We'll just try Kohl's. Seems to be doing better than YouTube. Still hasn't finished loading. There should be a big interactive banner up here. I'm guessing that's what it's struggling with. And it stopped responding. Alright, we'll try eBay. That shouldn't be too heavy. Hopefully. Much faster. There we go. So eBay's not too bad. We'll try search for something. We'll go Netbook. So eBay seems to be fine, or at least working. We'll try load a listing. We'll close the main tab just to give it a hand. Yeah, so that seems fine. So eBay works, Kohl's, no. YouTube, barely, but not usable. So next we'll try some local media playback. Big Buck Bunny. So we won't try 4K just yet. We'll start off with H.264 1080p. I'll just show, see a full 1080, and it is H.264 AVC1 audio. Or AAC audio, sorry. Seems to be having a bit of a struggle. So 1080 might be a little bit too much for it. We'll try MPEG-2 1080. Seems a lot smoother already. So yeah, MPEG layer 2, full 1080. And dropping maybe 15% of the frames. Stop dropping them. Seems quite smooth. Yeah, I'd say that's watchable. There are some drop frames, and going full screen and minimizing again is causing a little bit of issues, but that's not too bad. We'll try Xvid, full 1080. Seems a lot smoother already. So again, full 1080, Xvid. Seems smooth. So it seems to drop a fair few frames when maximizing, minimizing. But if you leave it at one or the other, it slows down a fair bit. And we'll do one more, which is WMV 9, I believe. So that's struggling a lot more than H.264. Hasn't even started playing yet. So MPEG-2 and Xvid both seem fine, even full 1080. Obviously 480p will work fine. So this is Xvid 480p. And yeah, no issues with that. Let's check it. So 856 by 480. And just a handful of drop frames, but that's probably from the initial load-in. That'll do it for media playback. Next we'll try some games. Starting off, we've just got Red Alert 1 using portable RA launcher.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Reporting. At once. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Reinforce.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Mission accomplished. Battle control.
So Red Alert 1 obviously works fine. No issues with that. Wasn't expecting any anyway. So we'll try another game. Next up is another old one, Midtown Madness 2. This one is full 3D, so we'll see how that goes.
The sun is out, the streets are dry, and there's an even calm over the city. Until now.
I have turned all the settings down to the lowest. With everything on max, it was a little bit choppy. We could probably increase the draw distance a little bit, but it's not too bad as it is. The beeping sound is just the horn as well. I will try to turn the graphics settings up a little bit just to see how it plays. So we'll change medium, visibility up a little bit, lighting quality, I guess that's the next one up, reflections, textured sky, and we'll have low shadows. So that's still fine, nice and smooth. We'll try max it all out just to see how it is. So we'll change that to very high. Highest draw distance. And high shadows. I can already see the mouse cursor choppy. So I might change the detail back down to regular high instead of very high. I think it's the visibility that's killing it, so we'll go down a little bit, up to very high. Try that. So it is a little bit choppy. Yeah. So as long as you keep everything sort of medium to low, runs fine. Change it back to medium. Change the quality medium. Oops. And low. That feels much better. Alright, so that works fine. So finally we'll just try Half-Life 1. And we'll just do hazard course.
Hello and welcome to the Black Mesa Hazard Course, where you will be trained in the use of the hazardous environments. I am your holographic assistant. Let's begin by stepping into your suit. You can see it suspended up ahead of you. If you see one of these buttons, press it, and
Welcome to the HEV Mark IV protective system for use in hazardous environment conditions.
Moving around in your HEV suit can be... First move we will practice in the hazard course is basic jumping. You will attempt to get over this...
Work. Those new suits can be tricky. Please proceed to the next area.
Will now duck under the next set of obstacles.
Very good. I hardly noticed you. On to the next area.
Now we will combine.
Good work. You look prepared for the next step.
To get into these pipes, you will have to signal your suit to make a duck jump. You'll want to stand right at the mouth of the pipe and continue to press forward. Nice job.
So it's quite smooth, only a little bit of slowdown when the loading screens, but definitely playable.
What?
I think that'll wrap it up for Half-Life today. I also thought we'll try local DVD playback, so I've just popped Shrek in. This is an ex-rental from Video Easy from back in the day. I've got the sound off just to avoid copyright issues. Yeah, so DVD playback seems fine on it, which is what you'd expect anyway. It was sort of advertised that you could get external drives back in the day for the netbooks and play DVDs on them. So is a 16-year-old netbook from 2008 still usable today? For web browsing, I would say no. It struggled with streaming and that wasn't usable. Coles Online completely froze up and stopped responding. eBay did work, it was quite slow. So overall, unless you're just looking up Wikipedia articles, I would say no. For local media playback, it couldn't play any of the standard file formats today, only the low res ones, and again, it's not worth transcoding just for that. It does play DVDs perfectly, but it doesn't have an internal drive, so you'd have to use an external one, and it's probably not worth the effort. As for gaming, sort of anything from early 2000s, late 90s works fine, but there's better options for that on a modern PC, for example, DOSBox, VirtualBox if you wanted to run a VM, or even just a higher powered laptop from 2010 would be better. All right, thanks for watching.